All right, let's take a look at proportional or not. So first question asks us to consider the table below and fill in the blanks. It says a blank relationship is made up of ratios. Well, I know that's a proportional relationship is made up of equal or equivalent ratios. Now it says the value of the x in the table is, well, if you take a look, here's the x. Now you might have gotten confused and thought it was talking about this x, but it's actually telling us this x right here. And if I look at my table, I can say, okay, well, if I have an x of 2, I have to multiply that by 3 to get my y. Same, 4 times 3 is 12. Now, if I want to figure out what this is, I have to multiply what's given to me here, 3, by 3, and that should give us 9. C is asking us for the COP, or the constant of proportionality. Ran out of space there. D is asking us for the equation. Okay. A few ways we can think about this. One is we can say, okay, what number do we multiply the x by each time to get the y? 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. So in this case, 3 is going to be our COP. I could also figure that out another way, where if I took my y, let's say right here, my 6, my COP is always going to be equal to a y value divided by the x value. So if my y value is 6 and my x value here, as you can see, is 2, oh geez, my COP equals 6 over 2. Well, that's just the same thing as 3. So my equation is going to be y equals 3x. Okay, the unit rate for this table can be represented on the graph by the coordinate point blank. Well, I know the unit rate is anytime the x value is 1. So when x is 1, my y would have to be 3. So my coordinate would be 1, which is the x, and 3 for the y. Okay, last part. If we graph the relationship, it would form a straight line, which would pass through the origin or point 0, 0 on the graph. Great. Let's move on to number 2. Now, this is like a question that you might see on an ANET or an MCAS. It says, is the table below proportional? Explain why or why not. Now, a lot of you figured out that this was not proportional, but struggled to explain. So we're going to try to model exactly what that could look like. In this case, I'm just taking a look at the table and I'm thinking about what I notice here. Well, I notice that when my x is 5, my y is 1. If I double my x, I double my y here. But then we run into a little bit of a problem where if I double it again, if I go from 10 to 20, and I double my 2, that should give me 4, but it actually gives me a 3. So this table is not proportional, and it's because we don't have any equivalent ratios. I mean, they're not all equivalent ratios. In other words, we don't have a COP. Now, the C in COP means constant, and if that was the same each time, then we would have a constant of proportionality. But because it's not the same here, we don't. So I'm just going to write, no, it's not proportional. Comma, because the ratios in the table, and when I say the ratios, I mean 5 to 1, 10 to 2, 20 to 3. because the ratios in the table are not all equivalent. Parentheses, there is no COP, or constant of proportionality.